哦，咩按古有咩事啊？讲信你哦，要信别排你那呀，能耐的。哦，
而且没在下雨。
Multiple municipalities across Taiwan are currently grappling with severe, catastrophic urban and rural flooding following a relentless barrage of torrential rainfall triggered by the outer rainbands of Tropical Storm Mekkhala. Although the meteorological center of the storm did not make a direct physical landfall on the island, instead, tracking slightly eastward and veering northward toward the Japanese archipelago, its expansive outer convective bands have effectively funneled a highly volatile, moisture-laden southwestern monsoon directly over Taiwan's topography. This dangerous atmospheric configuration has resulted in extreme, unprecedented precipitation rates, triggering rapid onset flash floods, dangerous river swells, and catastrophic soil saturation. As of the latest official situational update from the National Fire Agency, NFA, and the Central Emergency Operations Center, CEOC, the climate disaster has tragically claimed at least 2 confirmed civilian fatalities and generated more than 487 distinct, large-scale flooding incidents, spanning from the northern tip of the island down to the southern agricultural heartlands. Emergency weather declarations, mandatory evacuation orders, and top-tier flood alerts remain actively enforced by municipal leaders and national defense units in high-risk zones. The Ministry of Economic Affairs, MOEA, in coordination with the Water Resources Agency, WRA, has deployed emergency task forces to mitigate the severe infrastructure damage. The following regions have officially been designated as the primary disaster hotspots due to the severity of the inundation. Kaohsiung City has borne the absolute brunt of the monsoon-driven deluge, registering the highest concentration of localized flood emergencies nationwide. The sheer volume of rainwater completely overwhelmed the metropolitan underground drainage networks, turning primary commercial avenues into fast-flowing rivers. Water depths in low-lying residential subdistricts were reported to have reached waist-high levels within hours of the storm's arrival. In the vulnerable mountainous indigenous districts of Kaohsiung, such as Namasya and Taoyuan, the risk of catastrophic mudslides and rockfalls forced municipal administrators to declare a total suspension of all office operations, public services, and school sessions. Vast expanses of high-value agricultural fields, particularly fruit orchards in the rural outskirts, have been totally submerged, signaling devastating economic losses for local farmers. Meanwhile, positioned at the direct front line of the arriving southwestern monsoon currents, Pingtung County experienced prolonged, high-intensity rainfall that rapidly saturated its coastal plains and agricultural basins. Coastal townships suffered from a dangerous combination of heavy rainwater accumulation and high tides, preventing natural drainage into the sea. Ground floor residential properties, local storefronts, and provincial highways were heavily inundated. To minimize civilian casualties and prevent motorists from becoming stranded, the Pingtung County government issued immediate, blanket directives halting all work, public administration, and educational activities during the peak hours of the deluge. Emergency services utilized inflatable dinghies and heavy military trucks to rescue stranded residents from their flooded homes. Despite being geographically removed from the southern core of the monsoon current, the capital city of Taipei suffered massive structural disruption due to a violent localized convective cell embedded within the storm's northern bands. Neihu District became the epicenter of the northern deluge, recording an astronomical cumulative rainfall exceeding 250 millimeters within a highly condensed time frame. Short-term rainfall intensities crossed a staggering 100 millimeters per single hour, shattering local historical drainage thresholds. The sudden downpour completely submerged dozens of civilian vehicles parked in low-lying outdoor lots and basements, paralyzed major arterial commuter routes, and transformed underpasses into deadly water-filled traps. In direct response to the escalating crisis, the mayor of Taipei immediately upgraded the city's emergency response center to a Tier 1 active command state, personally overseeing the deployment of municipal high-capacity pumping assets. In Tainan City, renowned for its historical cultural sites and dense urban centers, reported widespread disruption as floodwaters breached old drainage networks. Primary traffic thoroughfares and critical highway intersections were rapidly transformed into treacherous water channels. Water levels surged well above vehicle wheel arches, resulting in widespread mechanical failure for hundreds of commuter scooters and cars. Several local industrial parks experienced localized flooding on access roads, disrupting manufacturing supply chains and causing significant delays for early morning shifts. Both the western tech hub periphery of Hsinchu and the eastern scenic coast of Hualien faced severe threats, characterized by topography-driven flash floods and mass wasting events. In Zhubei City and surrounding rural townships, mountain runoff cascaded into urban drainage channels, causing small rivers to breach their banks and spill directly into adjacent residential developments. In the rugged mountain terrains of Hualien County, the threat was structural and geological. Severe landslides partially blocked upper mountain streams, creating unstable, naturally formed barrier lakes, landslide dams. Fearing an imminent catastrophic breach that would send an uncontrollable wall of mud and water downstream, emergency crews executed urgent, preemptive evacuations for more than 200 villagers across 2 highly vulnerable mountain municipalities. The National Police Agency, working in tandem with local emergency medical responders, has officially confirmed 2 fatalities directly attributed to the severe weather conditions. In a rural sector of Kaohsiung City, a 73-year-old elderly woman was reported missing after failing to return from her daily routine. A subsequent search and rescue operation led to the tragic discovery of her body inside a major agricultural drainage canal. Authorities concluded that she had lost her footing due to the ferocious winds and slick terrain, falling directly into the roaring, high-velocity currents while trying to inspect her vulnerable farmland. In Zhubei City, Hsinchu County, a female motorist tragically lost her life after her sedan became completely trapped inside a rapidly flooding concrete underpass. The rainfall intensity was so severe that the underpass filled with water within minutes, locking the vehicle's electronic door systems due to water damage. Emergency divers later retrieved her body from the vicinity of the submerged vehicle once the water volume was partially mitigated by emergency pumps. In the wake of the widespread devastation, Taiwan's central government has shifted into a fully integrated crisis management framework. Premier Cho Jung-tai convened an emergency meeting at the Central Emergency Operations Center, directing all relevant ministries to coordinate seamlessly with local mayors and county magistrates. The Ministry of National Defense, MND, has placed amphibious rescue vehicles, high-mobility personnel carriers, and specialized engineering corps on standby across all 4 defense command zones. The WRA has strategically deployed dozens of mobile, high-capacity water-pumping trucks to the hardest-hit residential clusters in Tainan, Kaohsiung, and Taipei to expedite the drainage of stagnant floodwaters and prevent the outbreak of waterborne diseases. Several sections of the Taiwan Railways administration lines, particularly those running through mountainous corridors in the south and east, have been temporarily suspended due to minor track washouts and the high risk of overhead rockfalls. Provincial highway authorities have proactively implemented precautionary closures on multiple mountain roads to prevent motorists from becoming stranded by unpredictable landslides. The main international hubs have maintained core operations. Dozens of domestic flights connecting Taipei to the offshore islands and southern destinations have faced cancellations or severe delays. The Central Weather Administration, CWA, strongly cautions that although the atmospheric intensity of Tropical Storm Mekkhala may gradually shift, the soil across Taiwan's mountain ranges is completely oversaturated, drastically increasing the likelihood of spontaneous landslides and mudslides over the next 48 to 72 hours.
Grabe, na flood control nga ni. Baha.没有，这边没有人。